Hello everybody. We're going to pick up this year where I left off last year on my vacation. Been a change of plans. I'm not going to repaint this. I'm going to strip the paint off. I think that will look much better. That took a couple hours to get all that paint off, but it's almost ready to be resealed now. Looks a heck of a lot better than the painted over windowsill, that's for sure. Some time has passed. I got it all fully stripped, sanded, and cleaned up, and just got done applying the urethane finish. It's a semi-gloss, so it will match the rest of the stained areas in the house that look like this. And these spots here, that's from the stained glass window that'll go back, so that's not going to be noticeable. That's the holes for it. And on each side where it's visible, the sill is visible, it looks good. And my next step will have to be painting the sides here. I will give a bead of caulk all the way around and tidy everything up, and it will be finished finally. Alright, let's remove some of this paint. I'm going to use the heat gun method. When it starts bubbling up, I go for it. There, it's bubbling. Let's go remove some paint. It always bothered me why this one door was half painted white. Now I'm going to finally fix it. And there'll always be a little bit of areas to have to go back over, but that's not a big deal. That's looking better already. Work's continuing here. I'm painting all the cabinet doors and everything in the master bath. Go in the bathroom and see what I got going on there. And here it is. Still got some patchwork I'm working on there. Going to need to test the heaters. It's had a cool night last night, so I gotta sand that down a little bit, then paint it. I've painted everything else. In the door frame and in the cabinets. Got a pretty nice straight line on the tile line there. Then I gotta go get some spray paint and repaint the register. Put that back up. And this project will be done. See, I had the plate down. I'm gonna repaint the screws. I just wanted to put that up temporarily so it would be, somebody wouldn't come in here and put their hands in the wiring and potentially cause a problem, but that will be taken care of. Of course, all the stuff's stacked up that goes in the cabinet. Got a huge project in here. I got to take down all these pictures and clean this wood paneling. Not looking forward to that, but it hadn't been done since 2009, so it needs to be done. I'll do a quick example here of what my procedure is for this room. I've got a 5-gallon bucket mixed up with some Murphy oil soap, and I'm just going to get with it on these wood paneling walls. So we'll do a time lapse. I'll do these 2 walls here. Well, here's my water after. It was quite a bit cleaner than that when I started. So I did quite a bit of good and some cleaning here. And yet another mess in here. This is another one of the windows that needed to be redone from the window replacement. Some of those holes up in the top I gotta leave because that's where stuff mounts to. But on the sides it was chewed up pretty good. So I'm redoing that a little bit and texture it and paint it. It ought to look pretty good. And I put a fresh coat of urethane on the windowsill, as well as this one over here. I've already finished this one. It wasn't as bad, so just up there in the corners were a couple of holes. Not too bad. Here's a look at this room after I completed work. I had to repaint this wall and then around the windowsill, and of course I stripped and sealed the wooden windowsill, which had been painted over white. And then I took the paint off the door frame as well. On this side it was painted white, on the other side it was stained like this, so I made them both stained where they looked identical. Wouldn't really be able to tell the difference now that it wasn't always like that. Here's a look at these cabinet doors once I got them painted and hung back up. Still need the new door pulls on them, but other than that they are in good shape. And there's the lower. And here are these. I have the new door pulls on these. Got those at Ace Hardware. They're identical to the ones that were on there originally. And it's painted inside too. Looks pretty good. I also replaced these that were broken. There's the receiver, so pretty happy with how that turned out. As a comparison, here's an original door pull. It's Ajax branded. And here is a replacement from Ace Hardware. It's just a no-name China, but they're clean and look good. Got a nice clean paint line on the tile all the way around. Patched a hole there and textured that and put a vintage outlet cover on there that matches the rest of them in the house. And painted the vent. So that looks good. So this is the bathroom work that I had to do over my vacation. And then this is all put back together. I did a little work on this window. That needs to be cleaned up and retextured and painted from the window replacements. Had to reseal all that. I've shown this in a previous year. Something along the lines of finishing somebody else's work. Well, I'm getting there. Had to do the same thing on this side with some texture. Of course, it doesn't have 50 coats of paint on it yet, so it still looks fresh. And then I did this window as well. Took the blinds down. I had a big gap up there in that corner. When they put the windows in, they didn't even bother to take the mini blind brackets down, so it was just gaps behind there. So this room should be nice and sealed up for the winter. This window faces north, so it's nice to not have that big gap, which was down in the bottom, right in this corner here. There was a big gap. Then of course I sanded that and resealed that with the urethane. So much better, and everything's put back together in here. All the walls are cleaned and looking much better. And I put the curtains back up in here that had been down for 2009, I believe, when those were taken down. Don't have to get everything done in one day. You can wait a couple of decades and get it back up. That's fine. The wildlife. The wildlife. So this has been the indoor work done on vacation. Thank you for watching.